fruit. With the fruit. That's garbage.
Yep. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Pick and Roll Podcast, episode number 85. I'm here with my guys, Coach Glenny. Next is Randy, Nicky C's, and Blaze Radio. What is up, guys? What is up, everybody?
Hello, people.
Yeah, everyone doing good? Everyone doing good?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a little excited that I'm here. You're like, next shift, and everyone else has got a mediocre intro.
Hey, 2 weeks in a row for you, bro. We missed you.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, of course,
Glad
man.
you're back. Happy to have you.
Yeah.
My brother from another mother.
Shout out to Rios, our sixth of our six-pack.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, my man.
Yeah, shout out to Rios. Hopefully he'll join us.
Hey, speak of the devil in your eyes. I think I just summoned him. Check that shit out.
Big Pan.
I was just giving props. I'll shout out to my man Rios. There he is.
There he is.
Good
And
stuff.
I'm like, yeah, hopefully he'll
Beetlejuice. Say my name, I'll appear.
Beetlejuice, not Joe Hendry.
anyways, let's just get started with this. And Anthony Edwards had some words to say about Michael Jordan was the only real skill back in the day. I mean, and then he goes on and says, I didn't watch it, but yeah.
Mhm.
So let's start off with Blaze. How do you feel about what Anthony Edwards had said?
There's going to be a recurring theme here today in this episode that and you look up to your superheroes, your idols, but you don't always have to agree with what they say or how they think. These are opinions. So keep that in mind, fans that are so fanatic out there. Even if you love this sports athlete, this movie personality or whatever, you don't have to agree with everything they say. So I'm a very open-minded person. I try to understand that I understand what he was trying to say, but he could have reworded it a lot better because he's going to get a lot of criticism for that. And he's going to get criticism from me. I'm a huge Ant fan. I think he's one of the future top players of this game. I think I'm going to try to justify it first, and then I'm going to give my real opinion on what he said. I think what he was trying to say is Michael Jordan was one of the only ones that had like futuristic talent, like real skill that we haven't seen yet. Untapped potential, moves you never see, dynamics that you haven't seen before. I think that's what he was trying to say, that, you know, he stood out in a crowd as this guy who had these moves that, you know, who kissed the rim before Jordan, you know, and, you know, Dr. J was rocking the baby, but Jordan was doing all these things we haven't seen before. So I would elevate the only player with real skill back in the day. That's a can of worms. Because, I mean, Shaq had some crazy skills. Clyde Drexler did some crazy shit. Isaiah, Magic Johnson. I could go on and on and on and on and on. So I'm going to give him a pass on this because I think he was trying to say something different than came out of his mouth, because that's bullshit, Ant. It makes no sense whatsoever.
It's bull-time and baloney.
And you can't contradict yourself by saying, I didn't watch, but this is the only guy that had, you know, real skill. If he would have reworded it and said, Michael Jordan was the one guy who stuck out to me with futuristic skills that we are going to see a lot more of in the future that we didn't see as much there, but you can pick and choose players from the 70s and 80s that were super real skills before Michael and after Michael and during Michael. I mean, you want to say Hakeem Olajuwon, who I'm not a huge fan of. You know, I have Shaq over Shaq over Ewing and Olajuwon in my top 5 centers because I'm just a fan of them more. But you can't say Olajuwon, the Dream, didn't have real skill. You can't say that. You know, same thing with I could sit here and hammer this away for a long time, but I want to chalk it up to he meant to say something different.
Yeah. All right. Coach Ed, how do you feel about what Ant said?
It's disrespectful. It's demeaning. It's disrespectful to the game of basketball, first and foremost.
Right.
And to all those players who came before him. Let's be real. Without Dr. J, there is no Michael Jordan. Without David Thompson, there's a lot of people don't remember David Thompson, especially with the ABA. He was a phenomenon, and he was only 6'3", 6'4". And you're talking about kissing the rim. This dude kissed the rim, like I mean, you talk about guys who didn't have skills, like MJ. I mean, there were a ton of them, man. There were a ton of them. I mean, you can just go back, and if you really study the game, if you're really student of the game, you wouldn't make a statement like that. And then to top it off, to make this comment at the end, well, you didn't watch. Then why make the comment? So now you just showed you showed disrespect. You showed a certain level a certain aspect that you lack intelligence. I mean, come on, you're in the NBA. They school you. It's not like you have had conversations with guys. You know this. And then to say you haven't, right there, personally speaking, I think he's lying. I think he's sit there and say you haven't seen or you didn't watch.
Yeah.
Come on, now, if you want to say it's because you didn't see it live, okay, I get you. But hell, I didn't see Bob Cousy play, but I've seen Bob Cousy play. Come on, man. And that guy was a ball handler. So I mean, you're lying. So that you were up there as far with me as one of the top guards. That dropped you down, bro. Because it's like, okay, so why? First and foremost, why are you making these comments?
Right.
So what is the purpose of making a comment like that? So you're trying to up this level. I mean, here's another factor: the rules of the game have differed from each era. So let me ask you, Mr. Edwards. Do you think you could go back into the 50s, the 60s, the 70s and really play with the level of physicality, the 80s with the Jordan rules where, you come down the lane, you getting a forearm to the chest. Do you think you really would handle that? I'm really disappointed in him for making those comments, man. That's where I'm going to leave it.
All right. Randy, how do you feel about what Ant Edwards has said?
Yeah, like, I kind of want to take a little bit of what Coach even said and Blaze. Like, it's like, I hope everything's okay there. But yeah, like, like the lure of him now kind of got like almost kind of scuffed off a little bit for me in a sense. It's because it's like to make those backhanded comments like that, and then on top of it to be like, oh, and by the way, I didn't really see anything. It's like,
no.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna give me your honest opinion, but yet that honest opinion is based off what? And now I come in question, like, are you lying or are you just doing this for clickbait? And if that's the case, please don't, because I'm not about that. And that shouldn't be your character. Your character is what's on the court, and it's that dog. And right now you're kind of showing a little bit of a puppy look, and I don't really like it. So for the taste he left in my mouth, pause. The lure for him is definitely isn't really there anymore. Like, I still like the kid, but he's gonna have to show something this year, because like that's just a backhanded comment that you just don't make.
Right. Rios, how about you, bro?
No, I agree with the rest of you guys. Like, it was pretty disrespectful, but I think it's funny. It kind of sums up his entire generation. I didn't watch it, but here's my opinion on it.
Yes.
Like, bro, if you haven't seen it, don't speak on it. Like, come on. And if you haven't seen it, you should be a student of the game. It's not that hard to find, old game footage, YouTube, inside the NBA. Like, there's so much stuff you can access, stuff to watch games of the past, watch players of the past. It's just ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah. Nikki.
Randy took it out of my mouth. I was just thinking that Anthony Edwards is probably just doing this
Pause.
for attention.
Took the
Like,
words out of it.
it's in August. You
Podcast
go
coming
on.
to you near you.
it's just
You broke
this-
Mitch.
for basketball. What are you really doing? So I think Anthony Edwards in part was doing this to try to get people talking.
Good point.
And it was
Yeah.
stupid to say there was no players with any skills at all. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, some of the other guys you named, even some of the smaller players during the Jordan era that passed through, Isaiah Thomas for the time he was a top guy,
Yep.
and
No.
even John Stockton, especially as a shooter. Now, Michael Jordan stood out the most, and he had the most finesse and flash to his game during that era and created the most highlight reel plays. That's true. But the way Anthony Edwards is saying it, no, that's not true, Ant.
And I want to hear a follow up to that. I want to hear a follow up to, if someone goes back to him and asks him again. And number two, what's your definition, Ant, of real skill? Because if you want to take it literally, he said he's the only one that had real skill. So it's like, how do you answer that now, Ant, after you've heard all the backlash? After you've heard, I think Rio's hit it. It's the generation. That's the way they act. And
right.
To me, and this is another recurring theme. I don't mean to jump ahead, and I know, Mitch, you're going to give your thoughts on Ant first. But what these people say doesn't really matter to me. I'm not a fan of them because of how they talk. I'm a fan of them because of how they play the game.
Right.
Exactly.
So I just take this as a grain of salt and move on. But it is very disrespectful. Go ahead, Mitch. What's your take on it, my friend?
So for me, it's just like
no one's taking anything out of your mouth.
Yeah, don't put anything and take it out of your mouth or in your mouth now. Keep the mouth out of it.
And I won't say anything. But
No, go ahead, Mitch.
But
Elaborate. I want your take.
Because I study this game like almost every single day. So I know like all these guys from the past. I've studied their stats, even though they don't tell us the entire thing. I've looked at it, watched highlights of them. I wasn't around, but I recognize skill. And all these players have had skill. Allen Iverson, no one is really talking about. That guy had skill for like 6 foot. People even say he's like 5'8", 5'10". People say he's actually smaller than 6 foot. So you look at Vince Carter. You look at my God, I can go on, but I'm just saying, like, these guys have skill. You've got to put respect on these guys' names.
And if you thought that comment was bad, there's a worse one coming up next.
Oh my God!
Hey, you know what? Why don't you just say it? Because you already started.
Do I have to read this? Now, let me preface this, and if you clip it and try to say I said this, and
hey, you opened your mouth and brought it up, boy.
It's all coming out. It's all coming out of my mouth. I'm gonna shove it back in your mouth. Rasheed Wallace believes that. Okay. Rasheed Wallace believes that Wizards MJ, Michael Jordan, was more dangerous than Bulls MJ. I don't even have a response to this. Rasheed Wallace, hopefully the ringworm's gone from your head and you're doing a little better. Rasheed Wallace was one of those guys that had real skill back in the day, to be honest. But I don't care what he says because this is the most asinine comment I think I've ever heard. But what does he mean? What's more dangerous? Go ahead, Randy.
I got two questions. Randy. Sorry, I'm just eating some chicken. I'm hungry. Was this one after he had just finished smoking one? And two, was that while he was playing 2K and it was like the all 2K guy from the Wizard one? Because if that's the case, oh hell yeah, I agree 100% with him. Yeah, for sure. But otherwise, maybe as a leader, maybe because like I didn't. No,
because
like
gambled more when he was with the Wizards. Maybe he was dangerous because he gambled a lot more. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Returned to the executive branches because the owner didn't like the way he led with the players. It was part of the reason.
We can't chalk it up to this generation because Rasheed's kind of old. I think he was smoking a little too much when he said that. Or maybe he's trying to be relevant again.
Or that.
I think it's really that. I really think it's that.
He got in the news. Say something stupid. Get in the news. Rios.
Yeah.
I have no words.
Yeah, Rios.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah.
Funny. I
got to hear Coach's take on this because, like,
me too.
Big time.
Ball don't lie.
Pause. What ball?
Ain't no pause. That's what he said. The man that came right out of his mouth. He said, "Ball don't lie."
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. That went over my head. Now I'm my bad. Good one. That's a good one, Coach.
Yeah.
But he lies. Ball don't lie, but Rasheed lies.
No, but seriously, I mean, I can't. I can't fathom. Wait a minute, my camera's on. I'm sorry. I can't fathom how you could say MJ with Washington was better than
Dangerous,
MJ.
more dangerous. He said.
More dangerous than
He was
MJ.
playing on one leg, like, bro,
Like, did he
And-
carry a gun when he was with Washington or something? Did he have a Uzi on him at all time? Is he dangerous?
Look, MJ was at the back end of his career. He wasn't as explosive as a jumper. Now, he was smarter. I will give him that. He was much smarter. Yes.
Wise. Age is
So I mean, but that's life. As you get older, you get wiser. You learn from your experiences. But the level of play, I don't know. I can't figure it. Yeah, Home Alone. I get you, bro. You get the Home Alone look right there. So,
The Home Alone meme.
yeah.
I think, speaking of Home Alone, I think Rasheed Wallace is Home Alone.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Exactly. So he's Home
Playing too
Alone
much
with that
2K.
one.
I want to
You're
follow
playing
up to
all
that, too.
Wizards
Let's
of my
interview him.
era.
Rasheed, what did you mean by that, Rasheed? I'm sorry. I was smoking the Super Kush that night. My bad.
And look what Monstar said. Blaze is so old, he's a genius now.
Age is wisdom, my friend. Monstar knows he's 69 years old.
Holy hell.
Actually, he's a couple years younger than me. Shout out to my man.
Okay, I
Sean.
was gonna say.
He's in Canada, isn't our Canadian? My man Monstar.
What's
Hey,
up, brother?
So, yeah, pretty much Rasheed Wallace is an idiot for this. But you know who's not an idiot? And I kind of like this next topic.
Me too.
Chauncey Billups. What Chauncey Billups had said is that he struggles with the fact that Rudy Gobert is the Defensive Player of the Year, yet teams are still able to attack him in the playoffs. Blaze and I were talking about this during the Olympics. It's like, what is Rudy Gobert? Blaze, what'd you say then? It was like,
Dude,
things fights
listen.
are done.
I'm sorry, Rios, but people fear Wemby more than they do Gobert.
Yeah.
And he's the Defensive Player of the Year. I think, I don't know. Is he a victim of the surrounding? I mean, that no one else really stood out defensively. Is he a victim to the lower quality of defense that we get in the NBA and stuff now, which we always
That was pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it is. I mean, I do not think he was the Defensive Player of the Year.
No.
Otherwise, he would have played a lot more in the Olympics too. He would have stopped a lot of people in the Olympics, but he took a back seat to Wemby. And,
Yep.
and during the season, it's like he's splitting. Is he playing full time? I mean, when he's on the court, is he dangerous to go under the rim against him? Sure, he's a big motherfucker. He's really good at what he does. But was he the best defensive player this year? Really? I think playoffs and the Olympics exposed him to just a big dude who used to be the best defensive player. Didn't he win it before? It's not his first one, is it?
This is his fourth.
Yeah, see?
You want to be with Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And think about this, right? How many draft picks did they trade to get Rudy Gobert?
he's
Four.
Gobert. He's Gobert to me.
Gobert. Rudy Gobert. Yeah.
Gobert.
That's his play.
I'm interested to see who the other top ones for player of the year were.
Well, he was definitely defensive player in 2020. He shut down the whole league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
then-
a good one.
Touche.
Yeah,
mean-
touche. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm just
I
gonna
mean,
click the minds.
I mean, you look at Steph Curry, how he made him look around all stupid. Chris Paul did it too. I mean, no, it's just overrated. Hugely overrated. Who else?
Well,
Blaze, who else?
Well, it
is in
came
that
down
conversation?
to him and Wemby, and I think Gobert got it from experience. And we're all new to Wembanyama. But it came down to those two. That's all I'm finding. And he's the first to win 4. This is the third to win 4. Ben Wallace and Dikembe have won 4. But that better be the last one.
And
Rudy
did somebody
Gobert.
put a big number on Wemby too during the year? Didn't somebody put a 50 burger or a 60 burger
Embiid.
on him?
Embiid put 70 points on him in 3
So
quarters.
maybe that
you're
kinda
not going to
stung
give it to
people.
a rookie who's still developing. I get it.
Exactly.
So give it to the guy.
I think
So it was
Wemby was on a losing team and Gobert wasn't. I think it also had to play a factor in it.
Yeah.
too.
So Bam, Anthony Davis, and Mikal Bridges were the other ones in contention with the two that we were talking about. And
Oh,
I
Mikal
mean,
Bridges.
if you look at it, which one would you give it to? If you look at stats and go stats, it probably is Gobert if you look at stats.
Because he's a rim protector. He doesn't have
Yeah.
to do anything else.
Yeah. And he doesn't do anything else. And he does
He
dumb
does.
shit like put his head between people's legs and grab your ankles. Pause.
What in
He
the
does
D is
not.
this?
The dude is weird,
Ew.
man. He's weird.
Rudy Gobert reminds me of the French version of Mark Eaton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Good comparison.
Oh, that is a good comparison.
They both are
Yeah.
big. They lumber up and down the court, and that's pretty much it. They don't have any
That's
type of offensive game.
This is going to sound bad, but maybe Draymond Green should have choked him out all the way and just ended his career.
One mistake.
Oh, God.
Damn.
Steroids.
Randy, were you trying to say something earlier? I thought you were
I
trying
wanted
to
to
say
say,
something.
I'm like, it says a lot about the player that won Defensive Player of the Year, and when the Timberwolves needed him the most, they went small ball and brought in Nas Reed and Karl Anthony Towns and went that way versus having his ass on the court. Then, like you guys said, when it came to the Olympics, they didn't even use him at all. He was a bench warmer. He was a cheerleader at this point, and that said even more. So it's like you said, he got exposed. Now, and that's going to be very interesting to see what he does moving forward this year, especially.
Role player.
Exactly. That's it.
He's not a perennial all-star. He should be a role player.
Yeah.
Give him to by
Hey,
default, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I said earlier, MYG. I mean, probably because the lower
Yeah.
level of expectation in defense, there's only a couple guys that really stick out as phenomenal defensively. So you give it to the guy who has proven it in the past 5 years. I get it, but it's stupid.
It's stupid, yeah.
But that's one of the good takes out of these ones so far, though.
So far. And then
First,
actually,
And you're coming
The first
talking
two were
from the
just
perspective of
stupid.
Chauncey Billups, who played with Ben Wallace, who was a
Yeah.
four-time Defensive Player of the Year, who actually shut dudes down during the playoffs.
Yeah.
Chauncey
Yeah.
Billups knows what it's like
Wear
to
my
actually have
Chauncey
a
jersey.
defensive player who dominates in the regular season and can get it done come postseason time.
So far, we got Chauncey. I got to say Ant and then Rashid so far for these.
Yeah.
So Chauncey, Ant, and Rashid tie for 0.
I kind of forgot about the Rashid one. I thought that was just a filler.
no.
I don't even
no.
think it's real. I don't even
Don't
think
get me
that's real. I think
started.
the Rashid.
No,
think
I saw a
that's
video
made
of him
up.
actually
He made that
saying
up.
There ain't no way.
No, I saw a video of him actually saying it.
Yeah, but I
I'm
mean,
sa-
I think he knows deep down inside it's BS, but he's saying it to draw attention to himself.
Once again,
Yeah.
when we're attention seekers, get out your gun for the next one because
Oh god,
we're gonna shoot for another topic. Good man.
Yep.
So why don't you just say it? Because you already did.
Oh, he's
a
gonna
good
make me
segue.
say all those shitty takes, so it looks like I'm saying them.
yourself up for it, boys.
I did, Nikki. You're right. Gilbert Arenas believes everyone is out to get Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. When you're the champs, you got a bullseye on you. Next. That's common sense to me. But how? Elaborate. What do you mean they're out to get them? Do they have their guns ready to go after them? Is that what you're talking about? Or what are you talking about? What do you mean they're out to get them? I don't understand. Because Tatum didn't play a lot in the Olympics and Jaylen Brown didn't get picked? Is that why? But they're the champs. I don't understand. Did you see this one, Mitch? I didn't see him say this one.
I did.
But what context was it in? Were they
Yeah.
talking about the Olympics?
No. Here's the thing with Gilbert Arenas. He's the king of awful takes. He is like the king of awful takes. So when he just said stuff, you got to take it and run with it.
I don't know. Rashid
Yeah.
might have taken the cup
Well,
on that.
why
one
was
today.
he saying? Why was he saying that though?
It was in
Yeah,
a
that's what I mean.
podcast. I forget when it was said.
Was it about the Olympics? Was it about?
No, just like a regular season because they're the champions and how those two guys, especially Jaylen Brown, how he's being the best player in the Celtics. So
I don't think they're out to get anyone. Who's out to get him? Who's this? Who's out to get him? The cops? Did they do something wrong? Does he know that? Are they drug dealers? I don't know. Did they kill someone? Are they in trouble with the law? Who's out to get him? The FBI? I don't know. Coach, do you know any more than this?
No, I mean I'm not going near as far as that. I'm just going to leave it on the basketball court, and like you said, they're part of that is the respect of them as NBA champions because number one, Jaylen Brown. Why wasn't he put on the Olympics roster over his own teammate? Because basically, if you're putting him on, you're saying Derek White is a better
Team player
than Jaylen Brown, where I find that hard to believe, And then look in the Olympics how they did use Tatum. I mean, he's a skilled player, but you played two of his teammates more than you played him. So it's like, okay, so you can look at it as a slap in the face, basketball wise, for why they didn't use those, or the people that are quote unquote coming after them. All right, they're the champs, like you said. You know what? People are going to come. They're going to come after the Celtics as a whole, not just those two. But okay, if you're going to pull those, if you're going to circle in on those two, okay,
They're going to come after him, then they come on him, right?
They're the best players on their team. I mean, and because they're the best players on that team, they have the target on their back. Okay, so I mean, I'm leaving it like that because when it comes to Gilbert Arenas, also, I don't give credence to the things that he says. I just don't.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same.
Yeah.
It's how they play, not what they say. That's the theme for today.
Yeah. So, Rios, you got anything to say about that, or should we just move on?
Yeah.
All right. Shams has decided to leave stadium after 6 years.
What stadium? Was he in a stadium?
The Athletic.
What was he doing?
The Athletic.
It's the Athletic.
It's
Athletic.
It's Athletic, please. So, I'm just curious what he does next, because when it comes to like trustworthy NBA sources, it's him and Woj. They always they always compete to whoever gets the news out quicker.
Hey, what about what's his name? Mr. Finger Pointer.
Who? I'm probably going to blank.
Oh my God. Do I have to?
Am I drawing a blank?
Oh, Brian Windhurst. No.
Thank you.
He is a lower tier than those two.
Do you know Windy was a hell of an athlete when he was younger?
Was he?
Really?
Yes.
What?
So they were talking about that.
Well, just because he's big doesn't mean he wasn't
when he was younger. He was not big when he was younger. That's the thing. They were talking about on McAfee. I was like, what? Windy was the shit when he was younger. Okay. Because, there's all those people that sit back and say, this guy or that guy shouldn't be talking about basketball because of how they look or how they act. Come on. You got to do your research. The dude was apparently really good when he was younger in sports. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
Nick, know him. He's working. Come on, you guys. He's working.
Yeah. But, no, you're good. What is Sam's going to do now? Is he going to go to ESPN? Is he just going to do his own thing? Or
ESPN can't afford him. Mindy, they're going to keep doing their thing. They'll latch on somewhere. Yeah. Like you said, they're the reliable sources. I mean, we have all.
Maybe they'll go to NBC.
Yeah.
TNT Sports. It's a possibility.
Put all three of them together and let them debate about basketball every week. That'd be fun.
He might go to the highest bidder because, I mean, like you guys said, he's the most trustworthy news source as far as NBA.
ESPN can't afford him then. They can't afford him if it's going to the highest bidder. They're going on the cheap now.
That is true.
Yeah, and Shams is only he's young too. He's only what, 27? Something?
I thought he was older than that.
I'm looking it up. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
He's 30. He's 30.
30, 27, 30.
There
you go. I'm going to be 30 and I don't want to turn 30.
30.
Easy.
Hey, I'm 51 tomorrow. So what?
You're not even in the prime of your life, Mitch. We're talking about you don't want to be 30.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, come on.
What?
I'm damn near 60 and I'm not in the prime of my life. Come on.
And look at Nick, he's just laughing.
What?
Brian Windhorst played high school basketball with a man named LeBron James.
What? In high school?
They both went to St. Vincent St. Mary's.
Wow.
School.
Oh.
Wow.
Was Woj doing this?
We're the same age. Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Shit.
But
yeah, LeBron's
no, I don't think he was like the starting point guard or nothing. but From what they were saying on McAfee the one day, he was athletic that you would not believe if you see him now, and you'd think, oh, that dude probably never shot or played a basketball game in his life, but he's got skills. I'd like to see the video.
Yeah.
Well, back
Same.
then, not a lot of videos back in then, so
Back-
everyone didn't have a
back
cell
then,
phone.
but,
We didn't have a cell phone in every person in the audience.
You
20
know
years
he
ago,
got
so-
dunked on plenty of times by LeBron in practice. So
Yeah,
LeBron
but
give-
Yabba Dabba Doo. We got to talk about Yabba Dabba Doo, Mitch. Why isn't he on the docket? Because we
We
talked
will.
about him for an hour the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy
Thanks,
early
Chad.
birthday. Yeah. That was so cool that you met Chad.
Yes, that's one of the things that I never realized when I started being a content creator, that when you get these people that are loyal, you see their names in the chat over and over and over. And I know WrestleMania, I was supposed to meet Earl and you and Halftime, Mitch, and I never got to. But to meet Chad at that sports card show on Sunday was something special. It really was. To finally meet someone who I don't even want to call him a fan or a follower. He's a friend. And I mean, that's what it means. Same as you guys. If I ever meet you guys, no pause. I'm giving you a big ass hug because I love you guys. And what we do here is special. And to finally meet somebody that you've only known as a name or maybe a social media follow is something special. I'm very blessed.
Yeah. And to your question, Nick, I do not know yet. I just uploaded a video about Toy Story 5, how it's being, they announced it's going to be a
Hmm.
thing. So,
What?
Yep.
Toy
Toy
Story
Story
5?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Okay,
Yeah.
NYG wants to challenge Windy to a Windhorse to a one-on-one game. He wants
What
to-
is that?
Good, to put the pause there, NYG. Good stuff.
That is not mellow, but yep. So, and then actually now Tyler Hero believes that with the healthy Miami Heat team, is deep enough to make a run for the title. I think that's actually a
Everyone should feel that their team has a chance
Yeah.
to compete. That's how I
Yeah.
look at it. If
It's
you're
just-
not, then you shouldn't be a professional. Even the bench warmers, the starters, they should all say, we want our team to win the championship and make a run. Why not? I mean, that's just dumb.
Right.
If you're not, you shouldn't be a professional if you don't think that way.
Yeah, they were in the finals a few years ago. It's not a huge stretch to say this team if it stays healthy, so can make the finals. Now winning it's a different thing, but
Yeah.
making it, they got the pieces in place. But again, they weren't healthy most of the season or the playoffs.
Caleb
Exactly.
Martin.
Yeah, losing Martin's going to hurt them.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I think a bigger role for Jovic, that kid that played for what was it? Was it France? Or was
Yeah,
it
that dude-
Serbia?
that
I
dude
think it
can
was
ball
Serbia.
too. Yep.
He can really ball, and I think they're gonna give him a bigger role this year. And like he's like a Michael Porter. He's like that big wing guy that can like shoot the three, but also attack the basket. I expect big things from him this year. So maybe watch them really lean on him a little bit more this year now that they lost Caleb Martin.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget that guy's name too. It shouldn't have bothered
Yeah, it's
me.
like Jokic, but it's Jovic, but it's
Nikola.
yeah.
It's Nikola
Nikola
Jovic. instead
Jovic.
of-
yeah, Nikola Jovic.
Nikola Jovic.
He
Yeah.
gets confused. I almost bought a couple of his cards this weekend because I thought it was Joker. Like, that dude's not even big. Like, oh, that's not Joker.
Like what the fuck? That guy's not even. Oh, okay.
All the bitches.
And
Sons of bitches.
Randy, we got a question from Nick here. What is your expectations from Scotty Barnes this year?
Hold on,
Well,
before you do
the-
that, let me just say, before you do that, I'm looking at the Heat roster real quick. Bam, Jimmy Butler, Hero if he's healthy. You got to think about Jaime Jaquez too. Jovic, Kevin Love's old but still can play. Patty Mills old but still can play. Josh Richardson, Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier, and they have that Kel Ware who can be a stud. So we'll see. All right, good.
And
Randy.
remember,
Mhm.
Terry Rozier was hurt, so like
Yeah,
they didn't really
true.
have him in
Yeah.
the playoffs
health
either.
is
so.
health is for every team.
I got something for you.
They're going to destroy your Knicks. What are you talking about, Coach? Heat over.
Bam, 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 bam.
Bam, bam, bam. All right, Scotty
All right.
Barnes, Randy, my bad. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I expect a big year from him actually, Nick, to be honest with you, with us locking up quickly and obviously himself getting that max contract. I think that kind of like steers the ship, saying this is your team now, kid. Grab it by the horns and like let's show the league what you can do. He was obviously rookie of the year and then had a really bad bounce back year last year and then broke his finger and that kind of just took him out for the remainder of the year. So I'm expecting big things from him in this year, man. I'm expecting double-digit points per game and like attacking and just like being a monster. Like I know a lot of people are low on us, and that's fine. But I'm expecting big things from him personally.
Yeah, me too. He's one of my favorite players on the Raptors.
Yeah, he's gotten big too in the offseason. Wait till you guys see him. He's put on I think almost about 8 to 10 pounds of muscle. So he's getting a bit more swoller because he wants to attack down low. So
I'd be okay with that. I got a lot of his rookie cards, so go ahead, Scotty B.
So he's gotten bigger and swoller. Okay.
Just like your boy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was talking about Grady Dick. What?
So, Nikki, how do you feel about what Tyler Hero has said?
Can you imagine if Grady
I
Dick
mean, I
got
respect
bigger?
his optimism, and it does make sense. Remember when they were healthy 2 years
Or he had a
ago?
vein.
What did they do? They made a run to the finals. So, and that's a realistic possibility for sure. Yeah, so I think there is certainly a chance it could happen. Time will tell, but hey, it can happen. So that's the best. That and the Chauncey Billups take about Rudy Gobert are the best things we've discussed this whole podcast.
I do want to say I can't wait for another Dick to be in the NBA so they can have a Dick swap instead of a jersey swap.
Oh,
I had to.
It's almost 22 when this podcast starts to go off the rails.
Yeah. Yep. So, yep. And then Damian Lillard thinks he doesn't get the credit he deserves. This last season, he did not look good. He did not play well at all for Milwaukee. People were saying he
24.
was injured. People were saying that it was Glenn Rivers. People were saying all this stuff, how it didn't work out. But other than that, yeah.
Seemed to be working
plays
pretty
week.
fine at the beginning of the season before the coaching swap, but
Yeah. It's a bunch of bulljive and baloney. But, yeah. Blaze?
Somebody else first.
Okay. Rios?
I mean, I don't know what you expect. Like, you've never really led a team deep into the playoffs. You're a great regular season player, but come postseason time, you haven't really done that much. Like, what's the furthest they made it? Second round? I mean, if you want respect, you got to earn it. And earning respect, deep playoff runs, making runs to the finals. He hasn't done that yet.
True. Randy?
yeah, and like to piggyback on what Rio said too. Plus, you got to look at like the team as a whole, and when it comes down to like the roster construction and the fact that they lost so much because they had to give up so much. And then when push came to shove and injuries started to become a factor, they were reaching to guys on the bench that weren't even getting regular season minutes, and they were hoping for just anything, hoping for like a flash pan and a flash in the pan to like have something happen. So it did fall apart at the seams, but you know, it was almost like it was like fool's gold. Like you were expecting a lot to happen. Once Giannis got injured, then it started to really expose them a lot. And then when Portis got injured, and then it just started to fall apart. And then before you knew it, it was like there were guys on the court that I didn't even know their names.
Yeah. Coach?
I look at it differently because I'm saying to myself, you do get the credit you deserve. You really do. I mean, he's one of the most respected players in the league. I mean, teams game plan for him.
Sure.
So what credit is he looking for? You know, I mean, like you said, he hasn't gone far in the playoffs. So, I mean, you can't say we don't respect him as a champion. What credit is he not getting? It just baffles me because, you know, when you think of Dame Lillard, you know, fans come out to want to see him play. People are buying his jerseys. You know, I mean, yeah, when Giannis is out, then you don't want to see much, but that's also because you don't have two superstars. He's considered a superstar. So what credit is he not getting? Somebody explain that to me. I mean, what?
It's just based off the season, I'm guessing, because he didn't have a good season. I think that's what he's talking
What
about.
was his stats for the season?
24, 7, and 4. But his second to last year in Portland, identical stats, 24, 7, and 4. Now, the year before, he was 32, 7, and 4, and he's consistently been 7 and 4 throughout his whole career, assists and rebounds. So, I mean, he is one of the most, like you said, Coach, one of the most feared shooters in the game. You have to game plan for him.
He's the second best point guard in the game. He's the second best behind Curry.
So that's my whole point.
To me,
What credit? What?
to me, if I was to answer that, Coach, I would I'm just trying to figure out
Yeah, I
what
got
he
you,
was.
I got you.
I think he wants to strive for more. Maybe he wants to stay hungry, and maybe he strives for more. Maybe he thinks he should have been on the Olympic team. I don't know. Maybe that's part of it. You know what I mean? Like, why didn't I go to the Olympics?
You're right. You're
So
right.
that's what I'm trying, because like I'm with you, Coach. What more do you want? You're one of the most feared shooters in the game. People game plan for you, like Mitch said, arguably one of the best point guards in the game.
You get voted every year for the All-Star.
Yeah, what does he want more?
Exactly.
Or maybe he's trying to stay hungry, which I get that.
Here's the thing: being hungry, that's self. But when you say get the credit you deserve, to me that's external. So that's
Go
coming
do it.
from
Go back and play.
We're
430 again this year. Then maybe you'll get it.
That's what I'm not getting.
Yeah,
and now
let's
be real. You're playing with an elite superstar also. So that's gonna take some of the focus a little bit off of you, because now we have to focus on 2 elite players on one team. But like I said, I just don't get it. I really don't get it, as far as when you make comments like that, where it's like, maybe I'm too literal, as my kids like to say, and I can't read between the lines and pick up your true meaning, because like Blaze says, I mean, what? I mean, you're respected throughout the league and throughout the basketball world. Now, if it's because you weren't on the Olympics, really, if that's really what it's about, I mean, like this year, it just seems like, with the Jaylen Brown, okay, but there's so much talent in this country. Honestly, it really is. It's hard to. You guys need to. You know what? Stop thinking with your third leg. To be brutally honest, because you really want people to get on their knees for that, and it's not happening, bro. You got to really respect the other talent in this country. So what? It leaves me scratching what little bit of hair I have left on my head, as far as what credit, what I just don't get it. And yes, I need more context, so maybe someone can do a follow-up. What more credit are you talking about?
I think we need to interview Anthony Edwards, Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Shams, Tyler Hero, and Damian Lillard. It's the open invitation to all of you to come on the show next week, and we'll follow up on all these ridiculous comments.
Yeah, and actually, shout out to Randy for noting this. I was actually going to bring it up. Suns waived 2 players, Nasir Little and EJ Little, 2 open roster spots. That's kind of big.
Are we missing the point that it's little and little? Is this a little story? Is this a little news break? Is this a little bit of Suns information? They're like, these 2 guys' names are almost the same. Get them the fuck out of here. It's only going to hurt us a little.
You did this. Get them out.
They're only going to move up in the conference a little bit.
I think very little of that comment.
Where's TRL when you need them? Damn.
Little do we know. Let the little joke.
And it's only a little amount of time that Bradley Beal played.
Oh God, he's got to save his career this year.
I was told he's coming off of the bench next year.
Ooh, really? Might be good for him.
Because
that might actually be good. Yeah, same thing with Clay.
I said it last night. $50 million player coming off the bench. Okay.
I know it doesn't make sense, but that's today's basketball coach. We had a $40 million in Tobias last year. Hate to bring it up, Mitch. 36, 39, 40. Who's?
Oh, fuck.
Coach, you got a question?
He's going to come in and fit in and help the team as best he can.
Bam. There you go, Nick.
Yeah.
You know,
Cut
now
and
you're
dry.
saying, points. Yeah, I figure anywhere from 15 to 19 points per game, probably about 3 to 5 rebounds, and the assists can be about the same. Yeah, the defensive expectation is going to, be out the roof and justifiably for, his dual role talent. He's going to be the number 2 defensive option, behind OG. But his ability to switch will help the team. So, and he's comfortable playing with some of his teammates. So, that's going to help, in the long run. It's just, he has to get used to OG, Julius, Mitchell in the starting 5, and then anyone that's on the bench. But I think he'll be fine, coming in. I know Nets fans, you don't want to hear it, but so and you rob you as you guys say, you robbed the Knicks by getting all the draft picks for him. Okay.
Yeah. And speaking of Mikal Bridges, I found this top 15 list by Hoops Hype, and it's kind of questionable. They had Jason Tatum at 1, and I don't know how I would have. Huh?
Top 15.
Top
of what?
15 small forwards of the
Okay.
for the
Oh,
2024.
wait a minute. What kind of list is this?
Yeah.
Once
It's
again,
a
a lot
top-
of these guys play point guard, shooting guard too.
Yeah.
And forward.
Top 15 small forwards for the 2024-2025 season. So, Mikal Bridges is at 11. Ugh, I thought it would be a little higher than that, honestly.
You could shuffle around. a couple
Mikal Bridges and
numbers.
OG. Wait a minute. Is this from last year?
Probably because
Okay,
they're on the same
okay.
team now. So
Yeah.
No, it
for
says
the
24. Then you
Yeah, they're
can't
both the
because they're
same
both
team.
they're both the same team, and one is a guard and one is a small forward. So right now the list is done with me. It gets no credence from me because you didn't do your homework. You did not do your homework.
Yeah, well,
Sorry,
I just
guys.
thought- it's just kind of because I was shocked that Tatum was 1.
Someone. I mean, who's it
I
from?
was,
Is it from a
Hoops
Boston
Hype.
guy?
Hoops
type.
hype.
Hoops Hype.
Poop
Mm.
site. I mean,
Poop.
everyone's entitled to their opinion. Like I said, you might
Yeah.
shuffle a couple numbers around, maybe move someone up or down, but I mean, these are arguably the 15 good. I mean, but I can't classify anybody's shooting guard anymore or small
you
forward
can't.
or
That's
point
the
guard.
point. That's the point.
NYG.
What
Mm,
NYG
that's
say
right.
on it?
Suffer with the rest of the Knicks franchise. I love it.
little sour.
Get the clock started.
Yeah,
Love it.
Bridges can play
I
and
love my
defend
brother.
multiple
I love
positions
my
coming
brother.
off the bench. Yeah, it's just something I would that I wanted to bring up real quick.
Hey, look, and the top is always the top names. I mean,
Yeah, I just really disagree with the Tatum thing. I really do. I would put LeBron at 1.
It could be
Still.
because he's a champ. It could be because the guy's from Boston. It could, who knows why he's putting
from
Tatum
Boston.
down.
I like number
But
7.
I was just about to say that. I was like, wait. I like number 5. Paul
Yeah,
George.
Coach Gaz a good point. I mean, if you're going to really analyze someone that didn't do their homework to find out what positions they play, it's like, But I get it.
Validates.
I wish Michael Porter would do a lot better. He's got so much potential. He just hasn't. He can't tap into it anymore as much. And I think he can be phenomenal. I don't know if maybe he needs to go to a different team and to get a bigger role because he's never going to have the top role there. And he's shown flashes of brilliance, like in the playoffs a couple years ago and here and there, but he can't stay consistent. And I won't talk about injuries or health. I'll just talk about when he's on the court. He could be something special, in my opinion. He's just hasn't filled out his potential yet. And it's still time. I mean, I'll put him with the Jaws and the Zions, hoping maybe this year they can, have a comeback. And just think about all the players that are half-assed or injury or hurt. If they can all do good, we're talking about an extra dozen all-stars in the NBA this year. I mean, literally every team has 2 or more all-stars. Yeah, LeBron plays every fucking position.
LeBron plays everything, but that's just like his natural position.
He's the point guard of
No,
that team.
no, he's actually the power forward on that team.
Yeah. But technically, if you watch a game, he's
No,
bringing
no,
the ball up
he's-
half the
he's
time.
the
He's your point
point
guard. Point
He's the
forward.
point forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the best description.
No, this is the top 15 small forwards for the 2024-2025 season, Nick. It's by NBA Central. Well, it was Hoop Hype's top 15, but it was posted.
Yeah, notice
Why?
they put the blame on Hoops. They're like, it ain't our top 15, it's this guy. You got problems with him, email him.
That's group type.
Yeah.
It's something to get you talking. I get it. I mean,
Yeah.
you can sit here and argue rankings all day long. Because some of it will
OG
come down to
needs to be
favorites.
higher. That's what Nick said.
Give him a blunt.
Huh?
Give him a blunt. He'll be higher.
Wow.
Sorry, it's a weed joke.
I
Randy
know
got
it is. I got
I
it.
got it.
All right. Okay.
But-
Maybe it wasn't that great of a joke here. There.
But yeah, so that takes care of that. So is there anything you guys want to talk about real quick for like 8 minutes as I'm trying to find another thing, because I think we pretty much covered the whole entire docket based off opinions.
I'm going to answer. Oh, no, this isn't a list of that. Never mind. I was going to answer Nick's other question about the highest paid players in the league. Oh, he thought, oh, do you think the list was that? Oh,
He
no.
thought
Yeah,
the
that's
list was that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
If it was, that would be weird.
Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
That's exactly my point.
We're so close to positionless basketball that those rankings are so subjective.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I could just put anyone. I can even put Joel Embiid at center if I mean, not at center. He's already a center. At point guard. At point guard
You
if I
could.
wanted to.
Hey, they
I
break
could.
news to you, buddy. He's a center.
Yeah, he's the second best center in the league. Yeah.
Jokic, you can
Yeah,
argue.
you can even argue Jokic is a point guard. You can argue with anything. You can even argue Wemby could be a point guard.
Wow, highest career earners. LeBron James in his career has made $390 million salary. Chris Paul is
point-
second with 362 and KD at 351. Career.
Welcome to modern sports for you.
Chris Paul, I never thought would be second on that list.
yeah, that's pretty surprising.
Curry's
So-
fourth with
Who's
305.
fifth?
Harden at 304.
Who?
They have Garnett and Kobe in there too, but they're not present. But in their careers, Garnett made 334 and Kobe made 323.
Right on.
Get that back,
So,
fellas. Get the
where's
money.
So is that current players or
That's LeBron, Chris Paul, Durant, Steph, and Harden are the top five current. Garnett's fourth and Kobe's fifth if you put the
All
highest
time.
career all time. They make a lot of money. I think we know that.
Oh.
And if the people didn't buy the tickets and watch the games and buy the merchandise, they wouldn't make that money. So, in some ways, it's justified.
really, Chad? Good one.
He probably would be a good point guard.
390? Oh, it's just on the court. Yep.
Yeah, that's not talking about endorsements or anything else. NYG.
I'm actually curious. Like, who else could be on that list for
I can
current?
tell you.
Yeah.
Westbrook
I mean,
at 291, Shaq at 286, Carmelo is 266. That's your top 10.
Carmelo. Oh,
And that's
Yeah,
through the
yeah.
22-23 season, so that's a little bit dated. Doesn't
Carmelo.
count. last year.
This is
Then-
all time. This is all time, right?
Yeah.
So where's Jordan? No, you know what? He made most of his money. I forgot off of Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
totally
that's
forgot
where it
about
made
that.
most of. Yep.
Mhm.
Clay. I don't know if he's that high, but he's gotta be. Clay's there. Jimmy
Now,
Butler.
okay, here we go. This is this year. Top
This
players
year.
this year. Steph, 55. Joker, 51-4. Embiid, 51. And I can't argue with any of those
Yay.
three. But then the fourth one is Bradley Beal at 50.
Holy
Hey,
shit.
we were just talking about Bradley Beal.
Overall,
Off the bench.
Paid fourth.
million coming off the bench. Yep.
Yep, it ain't paid by performance. But then you got KD at 49, Booker at 49, Paul George at 49, Kawhi at 49, Jaylen Brown at 49, and Cat at 49.
No.
That's all the top 10 this year.
Cat at 49. Wow.
Cat makes 49.2. Yep.
Ooh.
Wow.
I mean,
I
these guys
I
had
never
signed
expect that.
contracts a couple years ago based on what they were doing then. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have thought he was in the top 10 either.
Yep, that's what happens when you get those big contracts over time. You start.
But I
I
mean, we
thought-
talk about how
Okay.
people say, you know, Jaylen Brown argument. Jaylen Brown's the highest paid Celtic. So there you go. I mean, and that's, to me, that's right. He should be.
He's the highest paid player of all time, I thought. Isn't he?
I'm not talking about
That's-
overall contract. I'm just talking about this year's
Oh.
salary. This is just
Yeah,
this
no,
year.
I just yeah.
Yeah, Bill getting
Overall.
50 is crazy, NYG. I know. That's the risk they took.
Yeah. Bill's getting it's just crazy. Damn. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. Devin Booker?
He
He's gotta
said.
be up there.
He said Booker.
He said
Oh, I'm sorry.
49. I believe. I think he said 49.
Yeah, there was a bunch of them at 49 million a year.
Yeah, it's like half the starting of the
49.
Celtics.
Durant. Durant's about 50. He's 49.8. Booker 49.2. Paul George 49.2. Kawhi and Paul George have Devin Booker, Paul George, and Kawhi and Jaylen Brown all make exactly the same. 49.2058. They all make
Damn.
exactly the same. So here's a question for you guys. Booker, Paul George, Kawhi, Jaylen Brown. Which one you want on your team?
Kawhi.
Say it again.
Pick one. Booker, PG, Kawhi, Jaylen Brown. They're all making, and throw Cat in there too. He's making the same thing. They all make 49.2058. Which one do you
I
want
already
on
know
your
why
team?
Randy wants Kawhi. I already know why.
Because he won a ring for him, of course.
Yeah. I'm going with Jaylen Brown.
Mhm.
I'm going with Jaylen Brown. He's the
I
youngest
probably-
out
I
of all
probably
of
would
them.
too.
Yeah.
PG, Booker, Kawhi, Jalen, and Cat. I probably would.
And
go
I
with
have
Jalen
Paul
too.
George on my team.
Are you the new owner?
Yeah, I
You-
wish.
That's what
I
you've been
wish.
doing, mother.
I got to go, guys.
Oh my god, if I was the owner, you know how much money I would put in hardcore sports right now?
Later.
Yeah.
Later,
Because
Coach.
I'll talk to y'all later. I gotta go.
Yep. See you, coach.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what happens when you base a contract off of 1 year or previous stats and stuff like that.
Potential.
Yeah, potential. A lot of be leery when I think now people have learned their lesson with some of those, and they're a little more leery. I don't know. They just did that with Beal. What last year he just signed that contract, right?
Yeah. The reason I would go with Girius,
No, so they still haven't learned. They gave Bill that contract last year.
I know. I was just
Yeah.
going to say. Hopefully they're starting to learn, but no.
the only reason I would go with Jaylen Brown is because he steps up in the big time moments. And look, it is Vic Watt. Hey, Vic
Yeah,
Watt.
it's up Vic Watt.
Can't believe you actually changed your name to that. But yeah, you need to change your name to Vic Watt. All right. So Nikki, who would you take in that out of those four?
Out of what four again?
Booker, Paul George, Kawhi, Jaylen Brown, Cat.
Or five?
Okay, at this Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. I mean, I believe he's the youngest. If anything, I'd take Booker, Kentucky boy. But
Gee, I wonder why.
I think Jalen would be my pick too because of what he's doing right now, helping lead his team do it. And I think he is the youngest out of all those. If it's not him or Booker, it's
Vic
Jalen
Watt.
is rookie.
He needs to get 69 cents.
Oh god.
That's not even $5. That's what he needs to get.
Here we go.
What do you mean? Here we go. All right. Rio, who'd you take out of those five?
For the Rockets, I would take Kawhi. We needed three more than we need those other positions.
Yeah. Oh, he'd be sweet in there. What if you were starting your own team with nobody?
Oh,
Which-
then
Which
Then
one would
Jay.
you'd
Jay
start it? Yeah.
Oh, if I didn't have to pick out of those five, or I was picking my own team, I would pick Wemby.
You'd pick Kyle Lowry.
No, I would not.
Nice.
69.99. He needs.
Why not 69.69?
Damn, Music went 30 cents lower. Or
He's not
30,
worth that
whatever.
extra 30 cents.
He's
Comeback
not.
player of the year next year, Ben Simmons.
Will you stop saying that?
And you can have Jordan Poole.
No, I'm done
Hardest
with
work in the
that.
locker room.
I'm done with that, man. I'm done with that guy.
I like this I like this little theme of people's opinions today. I know you didn't do it on purpose, Mitch, but it turned out to
I
be
didn't. I really didn't.
because I mean, think of, Olympics is over, football's ready to start. There's really not a lot of basketball news right now. So
No.
it's just people's opinion. And it gave a good talking point that, like I said, it's about how they play, not what they say. And I think a lot of people, beware of your idols. I mean, you might be your basketball, football fan. That's your best player, your favorite, but you may not agree with what they say. So I don't take as much value in what professional athletes say, because they're entitled to their own opinions. They may be shitty, they may be right, they may be terrible. But I mean, this is a good topic to come on because you don't normally talk about something like this, about what athletes say off the court. And sometimes how it will make total sense and how sometimes it's totally asinine and makes no sense at all. And you're like a lot of us have lost some respect from Anthony Edwards. I mean, I know it's a disrespectful comment, but I like to try to just disregard that he said it, chalk it up for explaining it wrong. And I still think he's one of the best in the game. But yeah, it kind of does take a little bit off. Like, man, I love that dude, but he's going to say some dumb shit like that. But I try real hard to separate how they play from what they say.
True.
Sometimes it's tough.
Yeah, it's kind of like with movie actors. You got to separate
Hey,
the character they play.
NYG, what are you smoking so I can have some of that? What are you smoking?
Yeah, you wish. Oh, what did Ant
What did
say?
Ant?
He says that Michael Jordan was the only player with real skill back in the day.
Yeah,
I just want his
think-
definition of real skill. It might make total sense. If he's like real skill equals a guy who can do this, 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 and win 6 championships, then yeah, he was the only one that won 6 championships and can do all those things. They can win a defensive player of the year. They can win a dunk competition. They can win MVP. They can win all-star MVP. Yes, he's the only one that can do all those things. So if he worded it different, he wouldn't get as much backlash.
All right, guys, I got to get going a little bit early tonight. So
All right, they're dropping like flies, people.
know.
All right,
Yeah.
we're down to the final 4.
The final 4.
Peace out, Nikki.
And we all, yep.
All right, okay, let's talk about Nikki and Coach. Their takes are shit. They're terrible. Those guys suck. What the fuck do you think?
Yes, that man alive.
I before Blake
Hold on,
goes on a rant.
if I'm gonna do that, I gotta do this.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
Ah, you guys are blaming coaches and blaming the refs. Ah! Shout out to my man.
Halftime.
Halftime.
Yeah. Shout out to my guy Philly Halftime. He actually just uploaded a video right now. So that video is up. So without further ado, guys, make sure you hit the like. Subscribe to everyone's channel, Hardcore Sports Network. This will be on Spotify. And yes. Yeah, please.
I'm saying peace.
Hold on. Basically, only one player with skill back in the day was MJ. MJ would get killed by MJ and by Magic and Bird.
Rick.
What? How does that make sense?
I mean, listen, we talking about practice.
Hey.
Fasten your seatbelts for the realest Eagles and Sixers YouTuber! Fasten.
Can you stop that?
Shout out to my man Nikki. That should
Yeah.
be his exit when he leaves. He should play that for him.
Hey, he stole my gimmick, but okay.
Oh, everyone's stealing from Mitch now. Watch out.
Yeah. That is a bad take, Vic Watt said. That is a bad name, Vic Watt.
No, it's not a
Anyway,
bad name.
I know you would say that.
Oh,
You would-
come on. It's not that, You know what else is big? You know what else is big breaking news?
Orange Cassidy is awesome.
Hey, it's not even there. There you go. You actually got your 1 second. With that being said, guys, make sure you hit the like, subscribe. We'll be on Spotify. Shout out to Randy, Rio, of Just Fans Podcast, Blaze Radio, Mitch Topsy, and we are out. Peace, guys.
Where's my brownie?